You may be familiar with Buddhism to do with monks and renouncing certain things in their life, not being able to eat meats, abstaining from sexual relations and living in monasteries. With this Buddhism, you're allowed to have anything you want. You can have long hair, you know. You can go down to the pub and have a few drinks, you know, eat meat. It's really your choice, you know. There is no God, it's the power of yourself. So instead of sort of seeking help from outside of yourself, it's like determining within yourself, like, I will change this, do you know what I mean? I must change this. This is going to change. I practiced the Buddhism of Nichiren Daishonin. It started in 13th century Japan. I was not born into a Buddhist family, I was actually born into a Christian family. One of my childhood friends, Koichi, he was born into a Buddhist family, and we went through a lot of stuff together when we was younger, and we sort of came out of it the other end, still in one piece, and he sort of told me about Buddhism. We started going to meetings together. My life was chaotic. I got expelled from several boarding schools. I got into drugs and alcohol as I went into children's homes. I went to a juvenile detention centre. I sort of had a bit of revelation, like I'm just going to keep on doing this, keep going through these cycles and never have any sort of security. I didn't want that. So yeah, I started chanting, and I became Buddhist when I was 17. Process of becoming a Buddhist, I would say, is your action. To me, you know, if I see someone helping out a man who's fallen over in the street, I think that's great Buddhist action. Everyone can become enlightened without fail. Everyone, women, children, men who have led sort of evil lives, don't have to be born into a high status or anything. Everyone can become enlightened. Being a Buddhist is just having faith, and the daily practice of morning and evening Gong Zi, which is a recitation of 2 excerpts of the Lotus Sutra, and I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam derives from a Sanskrit word Namu, so it means devotion. Myoho is mystic law, Renge is lotus flower, and Kyo is sutra. And it's supposed to represent projecting it out to everyone, do you know what I mean? It represents that everyone can grasp and attain Buddhahood. So I was chanting for a flat. I was a council flat. When I come out of care, I was sort of in a halfway house sort of thing. I was trying to get my own place. Through chanting for your desires, you can grow as a person and change your karma, change the tendencies in your life. Like, everyone has different sort of negative tendencies. I'm quite unmotivated and I'm quite arrogant as well. I always think I'm right, no matter what. But through chanting for this flat, I've realised things about myself that I didn't really know before. I've opened my eyes to things, and I've been able to accept that and then change them, you know. So it's the process of revealing your Buddhahood in your daily life. It's more important than the actual end result.
Did you get that?
I did, yeah. I am happier as a Buddhist. It's harder. It's much harder because when I was taking drugs, it was easy. It was, all I needed to do was get some money, take some drugs, and I'd be away with the fairies for a little while. But with Buddhism, it's really, really real. Do you know what I mean? So you really have to work and get happiness, become truly happy, like really satisfied, like through challenging difficulties in your life. When problems arise, you don't just sort of turn the other way and try and avoid them and try and make the easiest path in life. You really face them head on. I've done so much more in the last 2 years of my practicing Buddhism as I have in the rest of my life, you know.